Mega money red day today, taking the L this morning. Got chopped up at open to it. I kind of had an idea that we might be choppy here today with the numbers coming out this week, and we took the L. We paid the price. We touched the fire, we got burnt, and we survived to fight another day. Gonna show you guys a live trade here and then kind of talk about my thought process and what went wrong, or just the idea like, hey, sometimes you take a trade, sometimes you lose. That's part of trading. Let's get into it. Trying to get this move down here. We're getting stuck right there at the VWAP right now. Look at the ES down there at the 50s. Nasdaq just chopping here at the 80s. Get through that 80 level. We move down here. Come on, don't do it to me. Look at the ES down there all the way at the lows. The Nasdaq just a lot stronger here. Just keeping my stop right there, the high of this candle. Right now, again, getting denied there at the VWAP. Look at the ES down there at the lows right now. ES sitting at the lows, the Nasdaq just chopping around here at the 90s. Come on, get through there. And stopped out. Fucking A. Look at this bullshit right now. Nasdaq just did not want to dump there, did it? So as you saw in the live trade, I basically shorted the break of the VWAP here with this idea that we would break below this low of this candle right there and then kind of move down here to the 70s, possibly the 50s. So, you know, we basically pushed back up. We got denied there. We got denied there. We started to move down. I'm like, okay, I'm getting short right here kind of for this breakdown through here. And the issue is I actually kind of like talked about it. I was like, I think this thing's going to stop me out. Like I kept thinking like, oh, well, you know, kind of a double bottom there. We're going to get stopped out. But I also was live on YouTube and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going to make this happen. We're going to get the break. I was in the profit. I could have moved my stop to break even. I could have done a million different things. Either way, you know, hindsight wise, it was, you know, in hindsight, it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, I could have, should have, would have. But at the end of the day, we took the trade, we got stopped out, and it's just kind of part of the process, right? Like we go in, we have to take the risk, you have to accept the risk. I think the reward was very much there. We ended up breaking to the downside later on. We broke through this level after kind of testing it for like an hour, 30 minutes. And you can see we did move down here to the 64. So that was kind of my target of this level down there to the 70s, you know. From that 80 area down there to the 70s shouldn't have really been a big issue, but obviously it just didn't work out at the time. That's the thing about trading, right? Like sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right, but then you're also wrong. So that's how it goes. And right now you can see the Nasdaq actually breaking to the upside here. So this morning we pretty much just had that 15-minute range chop zone. We chopped back up in there, and then you can see kind of by 11 o'clock here, 11 o'clock now up there to that pivot point there at the 860s. So that was kind of the move. Not really during the time that we normally trade anyway. I mean, I'm normally done trading by 11. So again, you know, in hindsight, it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. But at the same time, that's just how it is, right? I'm showing you guys that we're gonna have red days. Like there's 100% reasons this happens. We enter trades, we accept the loss. I showed you guys here on YouTube Live. I talked about it. It's just part of it. You're going to have those red days. And the only way to really survive as a trader is you have to be able to accept the red day. You have to be able to move on, and you have to just take it. It's just part of it. Like you're going to have a red day. It's time to walk away, be done, come back tomorrow. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to start fresh, and we're not going to sit here and try to dig the hole deeper. We're not going to keep fighting it. We're just going to be like, hey, it's not happening. You know, like we're taking trades. We're getting stopped out. The market's super choppy. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to walk away. We're going to be done. And that's exactly what I did today. And that's just part of it. You're going to have 100%. I don't care what anyone says. You can be the best trader in the world, blah, blah, blah. But actually pulling the trigger, entering a trade, and then actually having to like take profit or not take profit, like that's the difference, right? Anyone can sit here all day long and call out trades and look at the market and, you know, comment on the market. It's another thing to actually take the trade, to pull the trigger. So if you pulled the trigger today and you got stopped out, well, hey, that's just part of it. You're going to have those red days. It's part of the process. But again, we don't let our red days get to a point where they're too big to bounce back. tomorrow is a new day. We got a lot of numbers, a lot of action is coming this week. I think there should be some pretty good opportunities later on in the week once we get through the FOMC meeting and all that. So it is what it is. A small red day, and we'll look for a big profit day here in the future. So there it is. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.